that was when my breaking point was, because I said, I'm not making commission, not because I'm not necessarily good. It wasn't just me as well, it was two other people, but because the person that was our manager had to close this out. She was busy, or, you know, there'd be other stuff going on, or etc., etc. Every time I call someone, they'd be like, who are you? And in my head, I'd be like, good question.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have no website. Her website was down. There was nothing to show. It wasn't like a normal estate agency where there's a website or whatever. So that experience kept making me annoyed, and then that clicked for me. The reason why I'm not getting commissions, not only because of the manager, but because I'm working too hard at point of sale to make the sale.
Yeah.
Marketing should give them enough information to make them feel comfortable to talk about working with us. Not at that time.
This episode is sponsored by Money Hub, a platform that allows you to see all of your current accounts in one place, and also provides you with smart money management tools to help you get right with your money.
Welcome back to the Takeoff. We have a special guest in the building. I'm going to call you a marketing genius. How you doing today?
I'm good, Atta. How are you?
I'm good. I'm very, very glad to get you on the episode. I've been wanting to get you for a while, and the listeners will definitely understand. But before we go that way, I just wanted to understand from your perspective, who would you say Elizabeth is?
Okay, so I am a Nigerian South Londoner. Now I'm a wife. And
congratulations.
Thank you very, very much. And yeah, the last thing is that I'm a marketing head. I love marketing. So that's what I would say my career is.
Why marketing? Why do you love it like so much?
Oh, because I've done so many jobs which I didn't like. Okay, so I did a lot of sales jobs.
Okay.
And the sales jobs I did was very direct. So charity work, door knocking, going to pharmacies as a medical sales rep, telesales for BT. These sales jobs were really, really like in your face, not aggressive, but you really had to speak to people in person and sell.
Okay.
And through doing countless sales jobs, it was brutal.
Wow.
And the reason why it was brutal, more than I think it necessary, is because there was no strong marketing. Okay. So obviously BT have marketing, but I mean, like when it comes to door-to-door charities, people are knocking on your door. You don't know who they are, what they're doing, what they're doing with the money. There's so much information that you're not really privy to until that person comes to you at your time.
Wow.
Not an agreed time, right? So all of those experiences made me feel like, wow, sales is harder because marketing isn't present to set it up. So it's like the midfielder and striker reference, if that's correct. The midfielder is the marketing and the striker is the sales. And that's what made me fall in love with marketing, because I got good at sales because I said a lot of the marketing stuff I needed to say at point of sale, which took longer, but it worked. But if I did that beforehand at my time, you know, maybe leveraged it on a website or anything like that, it would enable me or the company to have more sales efficiently, or at least easier.
Okay. Wow. Crazy. We'll dive back into marketing and why it's important a little bit later. But can you give us a bit of an insight into the day in the life of Elizabeth?
Yeah, so it's changed recently, but now I do marketing in a contract way. So I've got my business. So one is more, marketing lead. So, working inside a company as a contractor, but, leading marketing.
Okay.
And two, I would actually say now I'm actually getting into being a marketing content creator.
Okay.
Which is new for me.
Interesting.
But I have a lot of content. So slowly but surely, marketing's getting into that. I'm getting into that. And lastly, it's training people. So a big arm of my business is actually training companies who have a marketer, usually junior, so social media manager, VA, something like that, and the business owner who are both at loggerheads, who are not doing well with marketing. Yeah. And I train both of them at the same time on how to do marketing together, so they're more profitable. So that's a big arm. So I'm teaching a content creator and actively doing it.
Wow. You're doing a lot.
Yeah.
Gosh, very, very busy. Can you take us back to the beginning? So you said you're Nigerian. Were you born there, born here?
Born and bred in Croydon.
Okay, born and bred in Croydon.
Well, Croydon, Mitcham, Croydon, yeah.
Wow. And what was it like growing up in Croydon? I remember Croydon being rough from my hearings.
Yeah. Mitcham wasn't that much better, but I think it wasn't like Croydon. But I moved from Croydon when I was 2, and then eventually I moved back anyway. So more of my upbringing was in Mitcham.
Okay.
And that was interesting. I lived near a now academy, so that means the school was rough.
Okay.
Well, 2 academies I was close to.
Yeah.
And it was just an interesting experience, but overall I enjoyed it.
Okay, wow. And did you go to school in the area, Croydon as well?
No, thank God.
Okay.
Oh, no, not Croydon. No, Croydon was too far. And then I lived in Merton, so Mitcham in Merton. So I went to a school in Wandsworth, which I'm so glad about, because it was, I think, it was much better than the schools I was able to get into. I didn't get into the schools I wanted to.
Okay.
The only school I was able to get into in the borough was the Now Academy.
Okay.
So that would have been a different path to me if I went there.
You think so? You think that if you went to those schools that you would have been different?
Yeah, because now it's an academy, so obviously it was rough.
I mean, you've got smart kids in rough schools, I guess-ish.
Yeah, it's not about being smart. It's about, overall what the school does, how they help students. It's rough for a reason. That could be for many different reasons.
It's true. It's like your environment. I think when you're that young, you're quite impressionable, and it's true. You can go down different paths, really, right? So if you go to good schools, likely that you're gonna be maybe you're not a superstar, but you might be all right. But if you go to a really bad school where bad things are happening, my school, I don't know. Like, I feel like my school was. They said it was the best school in Southwark, but lots of stuff happened. Like,
fair enough.
Like when I think back to it, like at that age, it's kind of normalized. It's like, but when you think back, like, 11-year-olds, 12-year-olds going through stuff like that is a bit traumatizing.
Yeah.
Wow. Cool. And were you like, what did they used to call people that were really smart? What was that word again? Yeah. Well, you were boffin.
I wanted to be
boffin. You wanted to be a boffin.
When I say boffin, I don't mean like unique, but I mean like just do the best I can with the grades. Yeah. Because I actually liked at that time education, because I kind of got it. So, and obviously we both have Nigerian parents. We know what Nigerian parents be. Oxford, Cambridge.
That's all they want.
Russell Group.
Yeah.
So you need to get good grades from now, isn't it? So I definitely wasn't a boffin. I wasn't even the smartest in the class. But
I mean, you don't have to be.
Yeah.
Because I think at that point, it's not that important. It's only later in life. I think as long as you just apply yourself, that's what I always say.
GCSEs though, I feel like GCSEs is a kind of a turning point, no?
I didn't do that well. I got 5 GCSEs.
Really?
Yeah.
But don't you feel like that's a turning point in terms of what you would, because that's when you go to a new school. I mean, a new institution.
Honestly, I think I didn't know what I was going to do. Like, if I wanted to go into medicine, it would have like flopped me. But I think ultimately it didn't really, I had to work harder. I had to go through a different path, but I think I've still gotten to where.
Yeah. But at the time, GCSEs and then A-levels. So I got 9.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
you got 9 A stars.
No.
Okay.
That would have been boffin level. No, I got 9 GCSEs, but 1 A star.
That's still good.
All A to C's, basically. But
that's way more than average, I think.
You think?
Yeah. How many can you get total? 12, I think.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's way more than average.
Okay. Well, Well, you need that because it depends on. Well, I don't remember, but do they decide what institution you go to next because of your GCSEs? Because that's why you need 9 to go to a good. I don't know how you. I don't know what next.
I got into SFX with 5.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and SFX was supposed to be one of the best ones. So you would have definitely been. I think you can apply. You get to choose. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
Which ones? Yeah. Which one did you? What college did you go to?
I couldn't go SFX.
There you go. You went to Richmond. Richmond was one of the top colleges in South.
Yeah, but SFX was just. I felt like it was a party.
It was. Yeah, it was a bit rough. It was a bit mad. It was
rough.
Not rough. I mean, it's in Clapham, right? So Clapham, Brixton, Stockwell, all them kind of areas. So you have people from the area will go there. Exactly. And I think SFX was quite lenient. Yeah, it wasn't like you didn't have to have the best grades to go there. So they have people from everywhere: Croydon, Streatham, even people from Peckham went there.
Even Richmond had people from Peckham.
Yeah.
So but I love Richmond because, like you said. I know I'll get some, people that live in maybe Kingston, Richmond, the outskirts, the suburbs. the boroughs we don't even know
Yeah.
about. Yeah, so Richmond was much bigger. I really wanted to go to a college, not a sixth form anyway.
That's fair. And what did you study there at Richmond?
Government and politics, English literature, mathematics, and economics.
Wow, that's got nothing. None of these have got anything to do with marketing.
It does. Economics the most. Well, yeah, economics the most. But yeah, obviously, depending on how you look at marketing, it could be very quantitative and qualitative.
Okay,
sometimes.
that's fair. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
So economics the most because there's a strand of economics called behavioral economics, which is where marketing stems from. So yeah, I didn't learn much about behavioral. I learned financial, which is more about the Bank of England, quantitative easing, etc., etc. But still, I learned some modules about how economics is influenced by human behavior, and that's where marketing stems from. And
interesting.
Later down the line, I learned, where both of those, where my original degree helped me understand marketing better.
Okay, wow. And after, so those, were you always interested in maths? Just taking it back a bit?
The way I struggled with maths in A level, I got an A star. Like my identity shifted. I got an A star in GCSE. In A level, I struggled.
That's what a lot of people say, actually.
I never got anything more than a D in maths.
Yeah, I don't know why this. I don't know if it's the level.
Apparently, the jump is so big.
Okay.
The jump.
Or maybe they just don't teach you relevant stuff. Maybe at GCSE level.
But it was on a different level.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. I've heard it for people who are really good at maths, they do struggle when it gets to A level. Okay. Interesting. And what did you decide to study? I'm assuming you went to uni.
Yes.
Yes. What did you decide to study?
Financial economics.
Financial economics. Okay. Interesting. Why? Financial
money.
Economics. Okay. Wanted to get big bucks or just learn about money?
I wanted to be a management consultant. I didn't know what that meant.
Okay. You knew about management consultant?
Yeah, wow. Because of people that were applying, because Richmond had a lot of people going to Oxford and Cambridge and all of that stuff. Smart, and if they weren't going in, so there was actually a Oxford and Oxbridge person that will help people get to Oxbridge.
Okay.
Because I got good grades at AS level, I got okay grades at AS level. You need to get all A's in AS level. I got two A's.
Okay,
so
that's good.
The guy said, "Yeah, you won't get in, unfortunately, but you were considered. But anyway, you won't get in because you've only got 2, not 4."
Okay.
So from there, people around me will say, "Look, these are the careers I want to get into: medicine, working in the city. Okay, what in the city? Investment banking, management consulting, etc., etc." So I thought, okay, cool. What would you need to learn to get into that? And people didn't really have an idea. It wasn't like it was not like in uni as a management. Maybe there is a management course now, but not for a Bachelor of Arts or Science. So economics, I felt I enjoyed because it was a bit of the legal, bit of the mathematical, bit of the mental, and all combined into one. So yeah.
Okay. Wow. That's very interesting. I still think it's too early for. I've been saying this consistently on the podcast. I think like it's always too early to get people to decide what their future career should be, because your career can be 40, 50 years and you're deciding in your first 18 years of your life, oh, this is what I want to do for 50 years. I think it's kind of ridiculous, but maybe we'll have an overhaul one day. Okay, cool. And then at what point did you, what was your first job like after uni, after you graduated?
So because I was doing financial economics, I learned a lot about banking.
Okay.
And so I got a job in Santander during university.
Okay,
before university, sorry. And then did it throughout summers during university. So my first job after uni was Santander, but I got promoted from a cashier to a personal banker. And that's when my first, concept of selling began.
Okay.
So yeah.
Selling credit cards to us, bank accounts to us.
Exactly, upgrading, all of that stuff. Yeah, bonds, all of that stuff. Yeah.
Wow. Were you did you have targets and did they give you commission as well?
No, they didn't give any commission. It was very low pay. But I worked like I did. So I would stay after 5 to work to help the doctors or people that couldn't come during 9 to 5. I actually really enjoyed it. I actually enjoyed having my own office. Like, imagine it. At 21 or 22, having your own office, your own uniform. I thought it was so good. And then having people come to you and then upgrading them, explaining stuff, and use some of my degree as well, because I understood kind of a bit about the banking sector. From it. So yeah, it was interesting.
Okay, and then what happened? How did you get from there to where we are now in marketing?
Yeah, so very quickly, I was working a lot. So when I say working a lot, like I said, I was working past 5 o'clock. And I was...
Consistently?
Yeah, depending on whether they could make it before 5 or not, I would stay over and, hitting my target and, trying and doing the best I can. But I got really, really bored really quickly because it's the same thing every day. And if you're hitting your targets, you're not getting commission and you're not learning new things. I've it wasn't...
That's nothing to incentivize you. Like,
exactly.
So you're telling me that if you were hitting your target, or obviously if you weren't hitting your target, they might do some kind of review, but the pay's not different. What's the point?
Yeah, but I didn't stay even for a year, so maybe. But I don't think it would have jumped anyway. I think it's just a very stable job with the banking sector. So I was asking. So at the time, because of the influences I had with my friends, a lot of people were doing CIMA qualification.
Okay, yeah, accounting qualification.
Exactly,
right?
a management accounting qualification. So I thought, I'm not gonna do ACC. I don't want to be an accountant, but this management accounting is what I hear some people do to get into management consulting.
Okay. Oh, you still had aspirations to get into management consulting? Okay, at this point,
doing management consulting. That's all I wanted to be.
Really?
100%.
Okay.
The pay's good.
Yeah, pay's good,
just
but...
help clients. Okay, you work long hours, but I'm working long hours, voluntary. Like...
Fair enough.
And, I've got a lot to share and serve. So basically, banking, I wanted to work in head office of Santander.
Okay.
They said, absolutely not. I started working doing CIMA by myself and paying for it by myself. I couldn't do it. I couldn't study again. I wasn't doing it because I thought if I do CIMA, obviously I can get any job I want.
Yeah.
I stopped it very quickly, got disgruntled, and then I said, you know what, I'm just going to move on. So I went into Deloitte because again, the better names you have in your CV, the easier it's going to get into management consulting.
Yeah.
So I wasn't in the big Deloitte. I was in a mini office, like a small office, doing the PPI claims.
Okay.
That's the period of time when people are getting the money back. So I got that name on the CV. And then the contract ended. Still couldn't get into management consulting.
Wow.
And also I got a 2-2 in my university.
Okay.
So that was a really big reason why it wasn't working for me.
Okay.
So basically I just kept working in financial jobs. And I went into a trading firm and then I thought, you know what? Let me change gears a bit. Let me see how I can make more of an impact and more of my personality.
Okay.
So I got into medical sales.
Medical. Okay.
Yeah, medical sales. So the NHS, basically, they do require pharmaceuticals to sell them, obviously, the drugs for you to use. So, and they have a target to use certain prescriptions. But obviously, I'm competing against another pharmaceutical. So I was with a competitor to GSK.
Okay.
GSK is massive, obviously.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to sell stuff and literally... it's just the weirdest job. You have a fancy car, you wear a uniform, and you literally, your aim is, it's like a game. The aim is to go and see the head nurse, the head GP during working hours when they're working and sell them this product live, like literally, and get an order in. I feel like I was an apprentice. So
wow,
yeah.
I mean, it would have taught you valuable skills, right?
100%. So I did respiratory stuff.
Yeah.
So I was going into GPs as well, not GPs, sorry, pharmacies as well.
Okay.
So literally going in, getting orders, coming out, getting orders. I literally felt like I was on an apprentice.
Wow.
And that taught me so many things. But yeah, I just, again, it wasn't quite what I wanted. I didn't want to keep doing direct selling and all of that stuff. So then in 2017, I did a commission only role because I felt like I wanted to control my income more.
Okay.
I'm not getting into management consultant. Let me try and make money like I am, right? So for some weird reason, I did a commission only job in Milton Keynes. I live in South London. So I'll be traveling to Milton Keynes with my own money.
Wow.
Doing like phone to phone sales in property, getting landlords and getting landlords to rent out their property through us.
Okay.
That was when my breaking point was, because I said, I'm not making commission, not because I'm not necessarily good. It wasn't just me as well, it was two other people, but because the person that was our manager had to close this out. She was busy, or, there'd be other stuff going on, or et cetera, et cetera. Every time I call someone, they'll be like, who are you? And in my head, I'll be like, good question. Yeah. Because we didn't have no website. Her website was down. There was nothing to show. It wasn't like a normal estate agency where there's a website or whatever. So that experience kept kept making me annoyed, and then that clicked for me. The reason why I'm not getting commissions, not only because of the manager, but because I'm working too hard at point of sale to make the sale.
Yeah.
Marketing should give them enough information to make them feel comfortable to talk about working with us.
Yeah.
Not at that time. So I pitched to the manager to say, look, can I do marketing, your website, social media, whatever have you? She said, yeah, cool, but it'll be commission only. I said, that doesn't make sense.
So what, you're building her infrastructure? She said, "Oh yeah, I'm not going to pay you. It's free."
Yeah, it's commission only. Where's the commission will come from the sales? It might as well. Doesn't make sense. So I said, okay, do you know what? Yeah. So that dissolved. But then I started to get into marketing. I started buying courses about marketing because getting a marketing job was really hard. I had no experience. They didn't care what experience I had before, so I started buying loads of courses. And then a year later, I got my first marketing job. And then I've had a few marketing jobs since. And then because of COVID, literally March 2020, when everyone decided that they had to be on social media, online, whatever, to market, that's when my business started, literally, because my friend said, listen, you need to post some tips. And then I got overwhelmed with people saying, look, I need your help today.
Wow.
So it evolved. And yeah, that's where I am now.
That's crazy. I was wanting to go back a bit into your first role. Was there something in particular that helped you? Sorry, was there a particular course, or was it all of the courses that helped you get that first role?
In terms of Santander, or the first?
No,
the
first marketing role. Yeah.
So my sales experience helped because when I was a medical rep, the first marketing role I had was selling medical products. They were an online GP, so that helped as well. And also, I wouldn't say courses because it was quite beginner. Okay. But I was able to blag.
Yeah, I think you got to for your first role.
Yeah, I was able to blag. I don't think there was any courses because there was nothing specific. I didn't do no tests. It was just a phone call interview, maybe a face-to-face interview about generic stuff. So no.
That's all it. You just need one break, and that's it. 100%. And that's it. Okay, cool. And then, so after your first one, right? How did you get to where you are now as a fractional CMO, as you call yourself?
So again, I got very disgruntled very quickly because I was literally being told to do assistant level tasks. So with marketing, it's not just. Basically, there's different levels to marketing. There could be the strategy, the operational, the assistant level work. And all I was getting told to do was to post a review or literally what the breaking point actually was when me and my colleague was told to do the words, let me not say copy, do the words and the design of the website that to be rebranded. Yeah. We did it. Gave it to the manager. 2 weeks later, the manager got an agency friend, his friend who's an agency, to do the whole website. So none of our designs got looked at. Like literally was nothing. So I realized that I'm not learning. And that got really frustrating. I really want to learn. There's no point having a job where I'm told to do stuff that anyone can do. I want to learn marketing. Yeah. So I left, and then I said, you know what? The reason I got my second job is because I was learning about marketing so much that someone I would know, they would do anything social media wise. I will post comments saying, no, you need to do this better. You need to do this better. So there was a YouTube video that someone posted, which I knew in my previous work. And it was not optimized for YouTube. I actually put a comment, said, look, you need to do this, you need to do this. And they did. And they said, oh my gosh, they're the first result on YouTube. Wow. They were like, oh my gosh. If you can help us like this, come in. They told me to come in. They were in Northamptonshire. Come in and let's see how we can work together. Wow. So I was like, yeah, I'm the same because I want to leave. So yeah, so basically, long story short, we had a contract job and what I didn't realize, which is what I learned now, which is why I started becoming a fractional CMO, is because I wanted to be a consultant. What I didn't realize is that no one else was doing the marketing. So I was doing the marketing, running ads, the consultant. I was doing everything. What I wanted to be was to lead the marketing, to give the strategy, and someone else to do the day-to-day work. Yeah. Because I don't live anywhere near Northamptonshire, I was going up, I was stressed out. That's insane. I was doing all the work. They were telling me, because I wouldn't go up there every day for obvious reasons, right? Because I wouldn't want to pay for me to go up every day. They would say, oh no, we've changed this now, we've done this now. No, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do this. Things will be changing so fast. I'll be doing it just wasn't a good fit. And that's why I said, you know what? If I'm going to be like contracting again, a consultant again, I need to just be at the strategy level, and someone else needs to do the actual work. Otherwise, it's not going to work. And that's my first lesson that I learned. The next job I did was, so for various reasons, because I was in the property world for different reasons, I got another job in, I was a social media manager, and I did that just because of many reasons, which wasn't ideal. But I thought, you know what? I'm going to outperform. I'm not going to be a social media manager on paper. I'm going to be sick. So, cool. Another mistake I did was having that mindset. So, he wanted social media.
Why?
Because he didn't care.
Okay.
So some people say you should work hard and your manager sees. He didn't care. He didn't want to see it. So basically, I was a social media manager, but what he was telling me to do was so frustrating to me. He literally said, find quotes of famous people like Oprah, Bill Gates about finance, because it was a financial company, and just post it on social media. So
that doesn't work.
Two, I'm not showing my ability. I'm not trying. I still haven't learned. I still haven't applied everything I've learned yet. So I'm starting to get a bit frustrated. So I said, you know what? Cool, that's nice, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to make sure this business makes money from what I do. So what I did is that they had no followers. This was a brand new company. I was like the fifth person in the company, no social media presence. So what I did was that I DM'd people that I knew would be interested in offer, but calls with the manager. I made sure that I had phone conversations with people promoting the brand, and I made sure I found events for people to go, for a company to go to that was their target market. So I didn't do social media stuff because it would have taken too long. And also because he wanted things a certain way, I couldn't post what I wanted or what I believed should work. But what I did do is that because it was a financial product, which I wasn't privy to, I asked him to sit me down and to give me a one-to-one on what the product is, how it works, blah blah blah, and recorded it so I can learn how to talk to someone and not seem like I don't know what I'm talking about. So long story short, I made the business hundreds of thousands of pounds because I was able to find clients for them, and he didn't say thank you, didn't really care. He just said, like, you're not doing enough social media stuff, which I wasn't. Not because I didn't want to, but he literally just felt like if I didn't do social media the way he wanted to, it wasn't good enough.
Interesting.
So even that I was posting and stuff, because I felt like because I was doing too much, it was like, relax. Like that's what energy.
Relax, getting them 100,000. And how exactly did you get them 100,000?
So I went to an event. I told him I saw an event. I told everyone to come. When I was at the event, the panelists were our target market. They were perfect. They were literally looking for a company like us. What I did is that I recorded the panelists so I can make sure, because again, this is marketing. All we're doing is reverse engineering what someone wants with what we can give them. Recorded what they said, revised what they said, and then at the end, I asked for everyone's social media because I was going to follow up. I followed up. I said, let's have a conversation. I spoke, reiterating what that person said the day before. And she was like, oh my gosh, yes, I would love this. Booked a meeting with a few people and my manager, and they closed. And that's very simply how I did it. So it was more business development from my sales experience.
Wow.
Because I knew, again, like social, and again, I even got financial influencers that we both know to even talk to our manager. He just didn't care.
He didn't get it.
No, he just blew them off. So it's very frustrating because I wanted to do an influencer program with financial influencers to promote the product. He wasn't interested.
Wow, that's mad.
Yeah.
What if I told you that there was a platform that allows you to see how you're spending all of your money across all of your accounts, especially at a time where the cost of living is at its highest that it's been in years? What if I also told you that this platform also allows you to see how much income you are getting every month across all of your accounts, as well as helping you to set budgets for all of your expenses? It doesn't stop there though. This platform also helps you to send a record of your rent payments to Experian so that it is recorded on your credit report, which can help to boost your credit score. This platform sounds amazing, right? Well, this platform is called Money Hub, which you can download for free by tapping the link in my description. You get access to premium features free for 6 months, 6 whole months with no auto renew. And then if you decide that you love the app and the platform and you want to continue with premium features, then it will only cost you £1.49 per month. That is the deal of the century, right? Well, go and download the Money Hub app right now.
Okay, so he doesn't know what marketing is. So can you explain to us and the listeners from your point of view what marketing is?
Yeah, it's a lot of things, but the end goal is, I would say, is making sure that you have qualified prospects into your business. It's not to sell. It's for qualified prospects, clients, and customers in your pipeline, which
qualified.
includes qualified, exactly. Ideally, not just leads. Yeah.
Okay. What's the difference between qualified prospect and a lead?
So the way I see it is, let's just take an example. Let's just say we're selling a car, right? And, they have a social media presence and they have an email list. They say, subscribe so you can get whatever. Those people will be classed as a lead because they've shown intent to find out more about what you're selling.
Okay.
The reason they're not qualified is because you don't know anything about them.
Okay.
So the way we learn about them and to understand that they're in the right frame of mind to buy, they're the right person to buy, is by nurturing. Okay. So the only way we can learn about, this person who's qualified is that, and some attributes of being qualified is that they have the money, they're in the right mindset, and they actually need it.
Okay.
If you don't know that, you don't know if someone's qualified.
Okay.
Because they may be the completely wrong person, but they may want to look for that car or buy that car in 10 years' time. Okay. They're not qualified then.
Yeah.
So when I say qualified, I mean actually ready now. Okay. Able to do it now. And the only reason why they haven't bought yet is because either they don't know some information which may be personal to their situation, or you haven't had a conversation to them, or you haven't presented them the offer yet. Okay. So that's what I mean in terms of qualified and, qualified lead and just a lead.
Okay. I've got 2 follow-up questions.
Sure.
How do you know somebody is qualified? Because you said that's what makes them qualified. So I want to know like how, especially like a, like for something abstract, like I don't know, like Revolut. Let's say Revolut, for example. You've done an ad or whatever, and you want to get that person from a lead to somebody who's actually going to download the app, start, put money into it and stuff like that.
Sure. So data. Google Analytics is quite good. Okay. And also, we can track. So say you are a qualified person, but they just don't know it yet. You've shown engagement and interest. So let's just say you've responded to their social media, you've engaged, etc., etc. You subscribe to their email list. Usually, when you subscribe to somewhere, the good email list don't just say, give us your email. They ask for some information and, maybe gauge where you are, what you need. Also, if you download the app, you definitely have to fill out some information.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So again, you are categorizing your needs, what you have, what you don't have, where you're going, etc., etc. So because you downloaded the app doesn't mean you're using it as well. So you're not necessarily selling. You haven't been sold yet. So again, these are all steps in the funnel, which is just a timeline of a timeline of when someone goes through your brand to this point of sale and after, to show you more information, more clues. And also as a brand, as you get, more mature, you will know what Atto likes and what Atto is like, because there's economic, there's, mental, there's so many factors which you can kind of generalize, especially when it comes to what their mindset is, especially with like, for example, buying houses or etc., 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 which you can factor in. And you can test using split testing. So for example, split testing is when you test 2 things at the same time. So a website will have 2 different types of writing and or pictures. If you respond to this type of website, then you know that you're more inclined to feel this way. And again, that's just data that enables the brand to say, look, this is how I know someone's qualified, because they've reacted to this, they haven't reacted to that. They've said, okay, we want to sign up because we want to buy a house, not because we want to buy a car. This makes us qualified because depending on what Revolut sells, it enables us to say, okay, cool. he's ready because he's actually thinking about buying a house. He's got a deposit. He said he's got 25k. He's XYZ, XYZ, XYZ.
Okay. Wow. That's deep.
Yeah.
Is there like particular things somebody can do to turn somebody from a lead to what was the word you used?
Qualified?
Again? Qualified, yeah.
Yeah, sure. So the main, well, not the main thing, but a simple way is emails. I know people hate them. It's quite regular. It's very regular. It's, you know, it takes a lot of work. But with emails and email platforms, there is a lot of data that you start to get. Depending on what you ask for at the point of them coming into your emails, for example, name, email, age, whatever, that's again, you know, a starting point because you can see, you know, where they are now. Yeah. Depending on the information you ask. And then depending on what you send in emails, depending on what they engage to, what they read, what they open, because you can see what someone's opened, what they've read, what they've engaged with, you can say, okay, cool. If this person's clicking on, you know, downloading the app, but they don't, they're, you know, they're more qualified because I'm thinking depending on what I've said, for them to even click on that link to download the app, it shows that they have intent to do something. So and also you can do this with social media as well. Don't get me wrong. Polls. Yeah. Interactive things enable the brand to see who's qualified. And also content. Let's just say podcasts as well. If one type of podcast episode is getting a lot more views, especially if there's a call to action, most people often than not are more qualified because they're showing that they're more ready to take the next step. Yeah. Closer to point of sale. Yeah, yeah.
Did you use these techniques on when you were trying to get people from turning them from lead to qualify for your own business?
100%, and especially at my sales jobs, especially at sales jobs.
Gosh, man. Wow, this is crazy. You mentioned another thing, funnel. Can you take me through what that is? Yes. Because I keep on hearing it.
Yes. Yeah. So in a simple term, it's literally the steps that someone takes. The steps that someone experiences in your brand. Okay. From not even knowing who you are to point of sale to repeat sales. So most people, when they say funnel, they mean like discovery because they discovered your brand, and then awareness, they are aware that your brand exists, and then consideration because they're considering whether they need your brand, and then you know, I forgot the next one, but it's just ready to purchase. Let's just say purchase, which is what they purchase, and then, you know, they redo it again. So loyalty, they buy again and again and again. Okay. And the reason why it's a funnel is because it is a funnel shape. So there's more people that are aware of a brand. There will always be so many more people that are unaware of a brand compared to who actually buys. So that's why it's like a funnel.
Okay, cool. And why do you think some people buy and some don't?
There's many reasons, but again, from the brand side, because we're talking about marketing, one, people don't respect the funnel. They only think they need leads, which is why I'm making it very clear that they want qualified leads. Okay. Because if all of us have seen the Revolut app and we literally, and even if all of us download it, but we never buy it, like we still may or may not be qualified. We still may never, because, you know, we may just do it because of, you know, whatever reason. So if people sometimes ask for the wrong things. Some people are not good or realize that selling is at this point of sale is actually the problem that needs fixing. Some people attribute it to their social media or their lead generation not being good, which is more at the top of funnel, because social media usually is when you are aware of a brand and get to know a brand, not at the point of sale. So I feel like those are the main reasons. They don't really focus on the right bottleneck, or they focus on different things, which is doing fine, but again, there's not enough people going down the funnel. Okay. Would you say like a common problem for brands? I don't know, you can let me know. I'm just thinking out loud here. Like, I'm not going to use Revolut. I'll use like a random, I don't know, like a random app. Let's just call it random app, right? If their app is bad, right? And say that they get loads of leads, even if their app is terrible, they may just not keep the people, right? It's not marketing problem or sales' problem. It's their app's problem. A lot of people don't, or a lot of businesses don't want to recognize that their product is kind of inferior. You said it. I don't need to even add anything, but you're right.
Okay.
You're right.
Wow.
So you shouldn't work for brands where the product doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
you're going to be stressed out.
Yeah. What do you think of some of these ads nowadays? I mean, I don't watch TV as much, but a lot of them are quite gimmicky. They're not like straightforward. I don't know if that's on purpose. If you know what I mean, like is it Go Compare?
Yeah.
Compare the Market. They're all quirky.
Yeah.
Then they have nothing to do with insurance.
Yeah.
Or cars or home or whatever. Is that good? Is that bad?
I don't know their back end, but I assume they want to. The reason why you said Go Compare and Compare the Market is for the exact reason why they do it.
Okay.
You remember them? They're top of mind.
Very true.
So
and you said it, and I said it, and you recognized it. You're like, oh yeah.
Yeah. So again, it may not be to your flavor.
Yeah.
But you may go and find a sneaky quote next time you need
I
it.
do.
Exactly.
I do use them. Yeah.
So if it's gimmicky, what is it to you? You're a qualified lead because you're looking at quotes. You may have even used them.
I guess it's a kind of ingenious way, right?
Exactly.
To do it.
Yeah.
Wow, that's so out of wow. Do you say that's a good way, or is conventional better?
It really depends on the person.
Okay.
So I'm assuming they're gimmicky because I want to appeal to a wide range of audiences. Yeah. The industry they're in, it has a stereotype, I'm assuming, of more fluffy, not fluffy, but more stuffy, more, serious, more, straightforward. And, I'm assuming they've paid that mascot, that voice actor, a lot of money. So they want to create a brand of that animal. I don't even know what the animal is.
Oh, now meerkat.
Yeah, exactly.
Meerkat. Yeah, meerkat. Yeah.
So I feel like that's just it's just a way to have a point of reference.
Okay.
To that brand, an affinity to that brand.
Okay.
Which is at time of need. I remember the meerkat is annoying. But
it's so annoying. But it's effective.
Yeah, it's effective.
Yeah.
I don't remember much else.
Oh my gosh. What's your favorite ad that you've seen that you like? Wow, this is inspiring. Do you have any?
Do I have any? That's a good question. Do I have any ads which I love? Do you know what? Not that I can remember in the UK, but in USA, yes, I can't remember the brand. It was just basically a campaign about how women who want VC are extremely underpaid. And the way they did it, they did like sit down and they were just doing a monologue, and they were just saying like a VC told me that when are you gonna get pregnant? Like, and then a man will say, oh yeah, as a man, I got 1 million in 10 minutes. Like, and that was I think the reason why I liked it is because it was very startling.
Okay.
Even though we kind of know this, it was very shocking.
Yeah.
It was very shocking. And the ending was very like, this is what needs to change.
Okay.
So even though it wasn't even an ad to sell anything necessarily, it was literally really like endearing and, interesting to hear literally what people say behind closed doors. So yeah.
Wow, that's very interesting. I'm going to go and search for that ad. And you mentioned something there which I wanted to touch on. Selling. You said selling, marketing. So looking at your content, you maintain that marketing needs to lead to sales. Why is that?
So to be fair, marketing shouldn't lead to sales. It should lead to qualified leads by leads, which is, should lead to make sales easier. Okay. The reason why it kind of gets mixed up is because a lot of businesses now are online, like e-commerce businesses.
Yes.
So the distinction between marketing and sales are not going to be as rigid as a car salesman. So yes, I wouldn't say it should, but it can do. But there's still a sales element that we need to separate from marketing. Okay. So what was your question again?
Oh no, sorry, I even forgot myself. Why do you think that marketing should generate sales?
Sure. Yeah. So even though technically it shouldn't generate sales, it should generate qualified prospects because sales should do selling, right? Simple. It's important because most business owners, the way we're set up now is that we're not going to have a closer. You're not going to hire me as a medical rep, as a telesales, as a charity salesperson to close the sale. Yeah. A lot of businesses can operate online, and even if they don't operate online and it's the business owner talking to a customer, you want that customer to be as primed as possible. And marketers can do a lot of the legwork. That sales, if you do it in the sales format, for example, if you're just selling a used car salesman, the reason why I feel like they have a bad rep is because there's no marketing. Same with estate agents. If they knock on your door and they start selling to you, The reason why you're annoyed is because even if you want to sell your house, it's because there's no marketing to warm you up.
Yeah. You know what? You said something really cool, because actually, now that you said that, like I was thinking about Acorn, and they sent me a leaflet just offering, we'll give you a free valuation, right? And saying these are all of their offices. Obviously, they're not trying to push me. It's not going to cost me anything. But again, that's just like a marketing thing. They'll just send me, we sold this house recently. Just different things. So you think that's a good idea for a company to do? Yeah. Even that's necessarily not going to maybe get sale today. But,
exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Because again, you've remembered them. I'm sure they're not the only real estate company in the whole world that sent you that. I'm sure there's been others. Yeah. So again, top of mind. And it's just a cheeky look, isn't it? They just want a small commitment. Yeah. Right? So 100%. So imagine that they've done all that marketing, and then when you go into Acorn, for example, compared to other sites, you just feel like, do you know what? They've marketed to me the most. Like, it makes sense. Yeah. You just go with them. Okay. And then when you call up to, realize that quote to sell your house, that person isn't going to be selling the way he has to sell if you didn't know it from Adam.
That's true. That's very, very true. Yeah, because you know it's an established brand, it's a trusted brand.
Yeah, and you've gotten the quote, you've been, so that person on the other line who's going to work with you is going to be like, welcome aboard, not, hey, have you heard of Acorn? We can give you it. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. And how do you go about creating sales-focused content?
Okay, so every human, which is what I learned from economics and my own studying, we go through the same questions and mindset when buying something, especially something new. Okay. So there's 3 stages. So it's unaware, problem aware, and solution aware. So when we think about COVID, I'm going to use COVID as an example. So when I know it's different because we're not buying COVID, we need to have the, whatever. Let's just pretend that to fix COVID, we just needed to have, this medicine. Okay, cool. So when we're unaware, it means that we don't even know that COVID exists. We don't know what's going on. We have a problem because we're ill. We don't know what's going on. We don't know what it is. We're going to a doctor. They don't know what it is. That's unaware. So the aim of being unaware is for you to discover what it is, which is the brand or what you're selling or who the brand is, right?
Okay. So discovering the brand first.
Exactly. Okay, cool. Which is what Coca-Cola does. They want you to discover what they're doing. Yeah. Social media is very, very, very good at doing that as well because they just post content. You just receive it, etc., etc. That's the first part of the funnel. Discovery, awareness. You're aware that COVID exists. You're aware what COVID is. Okay. That's the first section. The middle section is cool. COVID is my problem. I'm sick. Doctor, I need, something. You need to understand that you need to understand what to do about it. Okay. So now you know that a brand exists, whether it's a financial app or COVID or etc. Now you need to understand how it's going to fix your problem. Whether it's you can't buy a house, they're going to help you save. You're sick with COVID. You need to get a trim. Your feet are dry. It doesn't matter. You need to understand how it works in your life and how it's going to fix your life. Because you may think, do you know what? With COVID, for example, there could be 15 different, remedies. One more aggressive than others. Yeah. Or you could want to buy a Mercedes, or you could want to buy a Volvo. So it depends. You have to really contextualize. You need to make sure that you contextualize the solution to what the person has the problem with. Yeah. Right? So that's problem aware. That's the middle of the fun. That's nurturing. So understanding a solution. Okay. The aim of being in problem aware is to understand which solution you want. Okay. What car, what medicine, etc. Then the last stage, which is when you're at the point of purchase and considering what to do, what to choose. That is solution aware. So you're aware that the solution exists. So you're aware that the medication exists, the cars exist. Now you're just going into the finer detail, like the detail that, if you want to move house, for example, if you want to have a medication, is it going to be 12 weeks, 12 days, 12 minutes? Is it going to make you sick? Okay. Is it going to give you this side effect? If you're trying to buy a house, do you want to move here? How far is it from work? You really, really think about the nitty gritty because you're now imagining yourself using that product. Okay. And also financial, the cost, the time it's going to take to, use that solution. So you get even more nitty gritty, which is why when you go to a car showroom, you not only test drive the car, you actually look at, finance options and, etc. So those are the 3 stages that every human thinks about. And that's when you look at reviews as well.
Okay.
So
yes.
you don't look at reviews.
I look at reviews for everything.
Exactly. But you only look at reviews when you're serious. You don't necessarily look
That's
at
true.
reviews when...
That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Every human generally has the same buying pattern at the same, stages. So that's why reviews are important. Yeah. At the more of the end when you're considering.
Yeah.
You're not going to consider a rubbish, rat-infested restaurant and look at reviews. Like, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it's a waste of time.
Yeah. So again, it's very logical, right? So those are the 3 stages, and you can make that in your content. Okay. Everything I just said, a doctor could have easily put every single information about COVID, about the, the types of medication you can do, how quick you'll get better on social media, on a podcast, on YouTube, etc. Same with any other brand. So that's how you make sales-focused content, because when you're making a purchasing decision, you make the same, decisions at the same time, at the in the same way, and that's how you do it.
Okay. I wanted to ask a counter question to that.
Sure.
How, in terms of that, I understand the 3 stages, but how do you make it not sound preachy? Because I feel like these days, especially millennials and Gen Z, I'll say even more Gen Zs, they don't like the status quo, clearly, right? And they're the ones who I'm sure a lot of brands are going to be targeting now, because they're in 10 years they'll be their biggest consumers. So how do you make sure that your content or your ad or whatever is not preachy, doesn't come across preachy, like I'm telling you what to do? Yeah,
you're not telling me anything. So you're saying, look, if you have these issues, or if you want this aspiration, this is the thing for you. This is what we do. We're a brand. So let's just go back to cars, right? If your family is growing faster than you can handle, get a big 4x4 car which can easily turn into a 7-seater.
Yeah.
And that's stylish without the stylish price tag.
Yeah.
People who are in that situation, who have kids, or maybe have, had kids very quickly unplanned, they're going to pick up, because you said something which is an actual issue. So I'm not preaching. And then the next day, just unaware. Now I know that the car exists, right? I didn't know a car can be easily a 5-seater to a 7-seater easily. The next stage is, okay, the more of the detail, which is like, you're understanding that it's a solution, because, for example, it gives you free baby car seats. So it gives you this, it gives you this, it gives you all these little features and stuff, which is very, very good for a family as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Etc. So that's not preaching. And the last stage is, we understand that, as working parents, one person may be in and out of work because they're looking after the children full time. Because of this, here we have an offer, or we have this campaign to help, the stay-at-home mum use the car more for shopping, or we've partnered up with Tesco or Sainsbury's, so etc. 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 And that's when you start to hear the offers and the promotions, because now you've explained what the car does, how it does it, why it's suitable for that type of person, which is why it's important to know the person. And now you're making an offer that makes sense to them. Yeah. That at least makes them interested to inquire, which makes them qualified, ideally.
Wow. you know your stuff. I'm learning, all of this stuff is new to me, so this is incredible. I wanted to know, in terms of mistakes, what are some of the biggest mistakes you've seen businesses make in regards to marketing? So you mentioned some in terms of your experience that you've had with the social where he was telling you to do quotes. He didn't want you getting 100k. I don't know who would ever say that, which is crazy. But what other mistakes have you seen?
So again, I'm just going to say it clear for everyone. Marketing does not equate to social media. It does not equate to lead generation. It does not equate to sales. So when people say, oh, I had this social media manager, but they didn't give me no sales. Oh, I had this agency that wanted to do Facebook ads, but they didn't give me no sales. That's not their job. So we're putting marketing and giving it, it's like saying we're going to put, blusher on our face and then saying that's our whole makeup done. No, it's only one part of it, which is why I said the funnel. Yeah. Okay. So that's one big mistake. 2, we hire the wrong people to do marketing. Marketing's a team sport. In generally, it's not something that one person does completely. So when people are hiring VAs, they're hiring social media managers and even consultants or whoever, but they're not fit for that role, it doesn't make sense, which is where I learned I'm not meant to be doing 5 people's jobs. I'm not meant to be the graphic designer, the ad agency, the social media manager, the brand and photographer. That's a lot of people's jobs.
That's a lot of,
And the thing is with marketing, more than any other department, in my opinion, is the most fragmented.
Okay.
You can have 15 different people on one project. Like I said, the photographer, the videographer, the brand, the web designer, the graphic designer, the social media manager, the copywriter, the ad agency. You don't like, it's a lot.
Yeah.
So a lot of people force one person to do so many different specialties. And I understand. But again, a mistake that people have is that they don't have the right marketer in their team. They think social media is, the being and end of marketing. And another one of marketing is that we again, this is a big one, which I keep saying. Sales is usually for the person who runs the business, or if it's an online business, like an e-commerce business, they don't separate it out. So they don't say the marketing's strong, but the sales is weak.
Yeah.
Or they don't follow up. Another big one. Marketing has a lot of follow-up to it. That's why we nurture. Nurturing is multiple times.
Okay.
Right? So when we're messaging people once, or they were doing a one poll and then no one responds, that's not much. That's
you have to just keep going.
Yeah, keep going. So I think those are the biggest ones I could think of.
Okay. Wow. That's so interesting. It's been a great episode. I've learned a lot from you. Elizabeth, I wanted to know, what have you got planned next for generally in your business?
Yeah, so just going bigger and better. So
okay,
so
got to do that.
Yeah, got to do that. So I really want to build the training side because, like I said, a lot of people have marketers in their team and they're not working together efficiently. Okay. And I've learned the hard way many times. So I really want to build that training company where I'm, being the best in the country in terms of teaching junior marketers or even VAs or people that are not in marketing beforehand with business owners, and then working together so that marketer can be a marketing coordinator, marketing manager, and run the marketing department one day. And then just putting out content. That's one thing which I love about you. You put out content like no man's business.
I'm consistent.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
that's stuff I need to do as well. So just putting my content out there.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, I think there's definitely a lot of opportunity in terms of the training for sure, because especially, I know you say social media is just one aspect and there's loads, but even some of the companies and brands I worked at, I don't think that they have any aspect, or they know a lot of this stuff that you've spoken to us about on the podcast. So there's definitely huge opportunities out there for you. And let's see how the training goes, and then you can come back on the podcast and we can talk about it. Where can people find you?
Yeah, so my Instagram is Marketing Invested. Okay. My LinkedIn is Elizabeth Eze, so that's EZE. And those are the best two places. And my website's being done, so it should be done.
Okay, cool. Soon come by the time this episode comes out then. Great. Do you have any final words for the listeners?
I would say that marketing can work so well for you if you learn the fundamentals, and, if you need to learn the fundamentals or learn more, you're happy to come to my page. I'm happy to support you, but it can work flawlessly and it can change your life and your business.
Yeah, I agree. I think it can. Like, I'm thinking about all the brands right now that I know off the top of my head. You see, I mentioned Revolut. I don't know how they did it. Revolut, we said compare the market. Off the top of your head, what brands can you think about? Because that means their marketing has worked. Evian.
Because of the tennis. I used to play tennis, and they had a tennis campaign. Yeah. Of the tennis players.
Okay.
So my affinity goes to them. Mercedes.
Yeah. Mercedes.
Much marketing
anymore.
Like that.
Actually, a follow-up question. I know we're supposed to be ending the podcast, but like I was thinking when you mentioned Coca-Cola, I was like, why do they still do marketing? These guys, they don't even need it. Their cans are everywhere. Like, why does a big corporation like that? Is it like, oh, we just got the budget, let's just spend it?
Maybe. I won't be surprised. But I think another bigger reason is that being top of mind doesn't only mean that their brand is out there. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah.
Because ideally, to be top of mind, you want Coca-Cola to be in your brain before you get to the shops. Yeah,
that's true. I don't have to see that ad to be like, I want some Coke.
Yeah, you don't want to go to
not that Coke. Coca-Cola. Exactly. That sounded wrong.
Coca-Cola. Yeah.
Yeah, Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola. Okay. That's very, very interesting.
And also, if you think about it, if you go to a supermarket, you're gonna be bombarded with soft drinks. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So to be top of mind, especially with campaigns and stuff like that, it just again burns it into your brain that Coca-Cola is there for you whenever you are there for them.
Yeah. Oh, great. I'm looking forward to seeing. I'm never going to see marketing the same or Coca-Cola the same. Crazy. No, it's been great having you on the podcast. Thank you so much for sharing all your gems around marketing. It was a great conversation. Listeners, I hope that you've enjoyed this episode. Thank you so much. Thank you, Elizabeth, for blessing the podcast this week. And yeah, listeners, we'll see you next week.